Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.
It's The In Show, Australia's only show dedicated to innovation from Adelaide, Australia and across the globe.
It's David Grice and Troy Sincock. This show is all about inspiration, innovators, entrepreneurs, startups, people with great ideas, and we find them all around the world, David.
We sure do. And, having just come back from South by Southwest, seeing all of the stuff that's going on over there, and then just sort of having a look at how we kind of benchmark in Australia against what I'm seeing, in other countries, I think we're doing pretty well. And some of these ideas that you're seeing, when you share with people overseas what is being created here, they are like, wow. I can't believe this sort of stuff is happening.
And are you seeing that there are particular countries focused in certain areas, or is it just a kind of like there's all sorts of stuff happening everywhere?
Oh, look, I really think that there's just so much stuff going on everywhere. I haven't really been able to see it narrowed down to any particular region doing particular things, I don't think. But even if you break down what's going on here in Australia, Adelaide's got aerospace and biotechnology and they're seeming to be some of the most significant innovations that are going on. But, you go to Sydney and Melbourne even, those guys are looking at technology in different ways than we are, and then there's a lot of companies that are crossing over all of this stuff. So, I don't think you can particularly put it on one particular region or location, but there's just so much great stuff going on.
Yeah, there certainly is. Let's find out more about what's happening globally. Claire's got more in news, including a story about how smart cities are about to harness the power of AI technology to improve security. What have you got for us, Claire?
Guys, this week I'll be talking about why our knuckles crack, but first, a project called Rainforest Connection has teamed with schools and Google to save the world's jungles. Rainforest Connection is using machine learning technology to detect loggers and poachers in Sumatra, Cameroon and the Amazon. But of course, these areas are huge and they're extremely hard to monitor. So Rainforest Connection has enlisted the help of students. Through the project's partnership with Google, they've run workshops in American schools that teach students how to make a Guardian, a small piece of technology that monitors and records sound. It's basically a solar-powered phone that's connected to a network. It can alert the authorities when it senses sounds of illegal activity, detecting sounds like gunshots, chainsaws, voices, and sound waves generated by certain animal species. Plus, they can be stationed about 25 kilometres from a cell tower. It uses Google's TensorFlow platform to store and integrate data into the cloud. On Earth Day, April 22, the students will be able to download an app and listen to a live stream of the sounds being recorded. Have you ever wondered why or how our knuckles crack or whether it actually causes us harm? Scientists from French engineering school École Polytechnique created a new mathematical model to study the cracking sounds. According to their research, fluid in between the knuckle joints reduces friction between them. But when they're stretched quickly, the pressure drop creates gas bubbles. They found that when the bubbles expand to a certain point, they either collapse completely or slightly, which generates that delightful sound. All the scientists have to do now is prove their findings in an experiment. Plus, it's good news for those who do enjoy a bit of knuckle cracking from time to time. Smart cities are about to harness the power of AI technology to improve security. A smart city is a town that invests time, effort and money into using technology to create an efficient, high-quality, sustainable and low-cost living environment. However, they have the potential to become even greater and safer with the help of AI. You can compare the way a city works to the way our bodies function. There are so many factors that play out to ensure everything runs smoothly. Our brains constantly receive feedback from the nervous system, and our bodies ward off potential threats by using its immune system. Smart cities have digital sensors placed in bins, street lamps and other physical objects that are connected to the internet and shared data. But they're not being used as a source of feedback that can help protect our smart cities. If they were, every smart city would have somewhat of an immune system and would be able to detect signs of impending disaster, like a collapsing road or an overheating power plant. This means authorities could deal with problems sooner and prevent future disasters. Imagine that. And that's what's in news this week.
Thanks very much, Claire. Well, isn't that interesting, David? I mean, the world of AI is just so expansive. The impact it's having is incredible globally.
And think of how machine learning plays into this as well. You know, like as the machine understands what information it's being given, what then can happen as a result? I think what we can find is that we're going to get information that we don't even know we're looking for yet. And I think then that opens up a whole myriad of different possibilities that don't yet exist as well. And think about also the business opportunities that come with that and that sort of thing. So, protection of our people, it could be around, habits of waste and litter and, will certain bins be collecting certain rubbish that we didn't know that, and that was based on the fact that there's a particular shop just nearby or something like that. And how can we improve the quality of our life for our citizens? It's so powerful.
Yeah, well, Adelaide, where we do this show, is smart city, and it makes you think that we're really, or we've taken on that title. It's really just the tip of the iceberg, isn't it?
Completely, and it's not just about parking and things like that. I mean, some of these new street light poles that are coming out that are called smart poles. I mean, understanding that each one of those are connected to the internet, and that it senses when somebody's walking towards the light at night, and therefore the light shines brighter so that there's an easier way for people to walk through the city. I mean, in America, in Columbus, Ohio, they're putting in these smart poles that have actually got power points and speakers in them so that buskers can just go plug in. And,
wow.
That's just stand at the street light pole. They don't have to take an amp anymore. So this is all about things that can also impact just the culture of a city and the way a city feels.
Absolutely fantastic. Really exciting stuff. It's David Grice and Troy Sincock, and on the next In Show podcast, we're revisiting an interview that we did on episode 5 of the In Show, and we're taking a look at how far Ashley Manuel has come with his organisation Growing with Gratitude.
Yeah, look, I loved that interview because Growing with Gratitude is all about helping kids to generate or develop the attitudes of gratefulness and kindness and all of those kinds of things. And look, I know some incredible things have happened for Ashley since we last spoke to him, so I just can't wait to hear what he's about to share with us.
Yeah, so often we're talking about technology, and this is like another form of kind of human technology. But the way people think has enormous impact on how they live their lives.
It really does, and the simple things that people can do. It doesn't have to be about a piece of technology. I mean, the innovation around what you can do within your own self is something that is. I don't really think we think about that too much.
No, I agree. Well, Growing with Gratitude is going global. We'll hear more about that on the next In Show podcast.
The In Show News. Subscribe to the In Show podcast on iTunes. A Dave and the Beanstalk production.
Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to AuscastNetwork.com for details.